Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Today's video is called Pitbull Rescue, How to Help Pitbulls. In today's video, we're going to go over several things. I'm going to be talking about a book that I came across recently that had a chapter in it about pit bulls that literally brought me to tears. And that is what compelled me to write an article for my website and go ahead and do a video about this. And I think that you're going to be quite moved by it as well. We're going to be talking about several facts about pit bulls that you probably didn't know. Some of them really shocked me, and I'm certain that some of them are going to shock and surprise you as well. I'm going to be talking about some dog training programs that can help pit bulls. I'm also going to be giving you a link for information about the misconceptions about dog aggression. I'm also going to be giving you a list of organizations and websites that you can visit and support. And of course, I'm going to be going over a few ways that we can all help pit bulls. So again, I appreciate you tuning in and watching the video. I hope that you find it interesting. If you do, please go ahead and give it a like. It really does help YouTubers when you do that. Now, if you have not been here before, you don't know, my name is Deborah. I own this website called PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and several times a month I do videos all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you have a pet who you would like continuous help with, please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and please go ahead and share the channel with your friends and family who have a dog or a cat, because they might be having an issue with their pet that they could use some help with, okay? Now, we're going to use this article called How to Help Pit Bulls from my website for today's video. I'm not going to read you the article. I'm going to use it to guide us through the video. I am going to give you a link to this article in the description box, and I'll go ahead and give you a link to everything that we talk about. So go ahead and just relax. You can go back to this article if you want to, and you'll be able to go in the description box for everything that we talk about. Now, the book that I came across is by Tracy Stewart, and it's called Do Unto Animals, How Animals Live and How We Can Make Their Lives Better. Now, I found this to be a beautiful and inspiring book. It is particularly beautifully illustrated. I do recommend the book for anyone that loves animals. I did do a book review of it. I'll give you the link in the description box. Now, here's what the book looks like. Now, for the love of pit bulls, I felt compelled to share this on my website and also my YouTube channel, and to promote the ideas that this author shares so that more people can learn about pit bulls. I hope that you'll do the same by sharing this video and the article with your friends in social media. Now, I'm not going to read you a whole lot here, but if you'll bear with me, I don't want to misquote Tracy. I want to take some things right out of her book. So if you'll just bear with me, I think that you're going to find this very interesting. She starts out with saying, clearly, certain dogs are more physically powerful than others and can be visually intimidating to some people. If you choose to share your life with a larger dog, in addition to the extra large portion of love you'll get, you'll need to be prepared to accept an extra large portion of responsibility. Here's something interesting. People may be tolerant of a little dog that's a lot out of control, but often have no tolerance for a larger dog who's even a little bit out of control. You owe it to your dog, if you own a pit bull, who by no choice of his own may be judged more harshly than his smaller, less fearsome looking counterparts, to teach good manners and sociability. I'm going to give you some good dog training referrals if you would like to know more about that. She says, who knows, perhaps your dog can be an ambassador to change perceptions. Now, she talks in her book about the 5 pit bull dogs that she has. She gives their names. Misinformation about this breed abounds. Here are some facts that I wanted to share from her book that, like I said, some of them are pretty surprising. First of all, she just talks about kind of the history of the breed, what dog is officially officially a pit bull. She also says the experts have found it impossible to accurately assign a breed label or predict future behavior based solely on a dog's appearance. In other words, you can't just look at a dog and just based on what they look like, you can't label them a pit bull unless you know, are they in fact a purebred pit bull? And you certainly can't predict what that dog's temperament is like or what their behavior is going to be now or in the future just based on what they look like. I'm not making a joke of this, but it's kind of funny. I had a miniature dachshund named Maggie who was a scrapper. She would start fights with all the other dogs. She's a little miniature dachshund, so I totally agree that, the little dogs can be just as ferocious as a pit bull or any other large dog. But because the little ones are little, people tolerate it. Like whenever Maggie would act that way, nobody ever got aggravated. Nobody ever called the cops. Nobody ever started slinging insults at me or telling me I needed to put my dog down. Most people just thought it was funny. And it's like Maggie got away with that behavior in public because she was little. If a pit bull was doing all the same things that Maggie was doing, guess what? So I just think it's very interesting. Now, here's an interesting fact. In the beginning of the 20th century, pit bull type dogs were among the most popular family dogs. They were even referred to as nanny dogs. Now, in the 1980s, pit bulls became the dog of choice for drug dealers, dog fighters, and gangs. These people raise dogs in deplorable conditions and purposely incite fear and aggression in them for their own deviant purposes. The result has been unspeakable injuries, suffering, and cruelty for canines and humans. Now, I just want to stop the video for just a second to introduce Luna. This is a picture of Luna. She belongs to my brother's girlfriend, Kat, and I texted Kat and I said, would you please send me some pictures of Luna so that I can use them for the thumbnail of my video and also my social media and also for this post. So thank you, Kat, so much. Here's your beautiful girl. I know you're probably excited that she's officially on YouTube, but there she is. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. I know her. I love her. She's a real sweetheart. I'm going to have a couple more pictures of Luna for you in the description box, okay? Now, let's go ahead and continue on. This is another thing that breaks my heart. The disproportionate number of pit bull types in shelters is more due to irresponsibility and prolific breeding rather than the misconduct of an individual dog. The large number of these dogs in shelters should not be interpreted as a negative reflection on their adoptability. I don't know about you, but when I see ads in my newspaper or for my local animal shelters like the SPCA, it's always pit bulls, isn't it? Take a look at your local animal shelters and you'll see that a very large amount of the dogs that are there because they don't have a home and because they need a home are pit bulls. And it's just very sad. Let's continue. Another fact, media outlets have always salivated over a good fear-instilling animal story. Some believe that pit bulls became the victim in 1987 when Sports Illustrated published a cover with a snarling American pit bull terrier with the headline, "Beware of this dog." Rolling Stone also published a graphic article about teenagers, inner-city gangs, violence, and horrific abuse of pit bulls. Pit bulls became the new easy breed to plug into the vicious dog story. Many shelters euthanize a dog for looking like a pit bull, either due to their own ignorance or because they think that prejudice will limit the dog's chances for adoption, regardless of the temperament or soundness of that individual dog. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. Now, here's where I might start bawling, and so I apologize. This is where the book literally brought me to tears. First of all, here's our Luna again. She's a sweet, beautiful girl. I'm going to touch on this briefly so I don't keep you and start bawling. But when I read that last statement about pit bulls being euthanized, either because of the ignorance of whoever's running the shelter or because they simply think that the dog will not have a chance of being adopted because he is or looks like a pit bull, it literally brought me to tears. And all I could think of was a pit bull sitting there and realizing he's going to be euthanized, and the pit bull saying, "You mean I'm going to die because of the way I look?" And I started crying. You know, it's like those dogs give the same unlimited, unconditional love to humans as any other dog. I also have no doubt that these dogs will protect their owner. They'll give their life to protect their owner, again, like any other dog. So it's this sort of thinking and this sort of thing that happens to pit bulls every day that literally brings me to tears. And for me, it is profound sadness and sympathy and tears. I'm sorry, if you've been here before, you know I'm a sap. Now let's talk about ways to help pit bulls. Okay, I'm really hoping that today's video is going to make, even if it's just the slightest difference. All right, I'm really asking you to share this one. Now, first of all, if you've been here before, if you've been in any of my dog training videos, you know I'm in love with Doggy Dan. Doggy Dan owns a dog training website called the Online Dog Trainer. That's him in the picture with the pit bull puppy. And I'm going to talk with you about him in just a second. Now, regarding training, pit bulls, you know, I'm giving you a recommendation for dog training, but don't just assume, oh, pit bulls are terrible, they need extra training. No, that's not why I'm giving you the recommendation for dog training. It's not why I'm talking about dog training for pit bulls. Just hear me out. Pit bulls need extra help with training because, as unfair as it is, they have to behave almost perfectly just to be accepted by society. Sadly, they can't get away with minor misbehavior and mistakes that every dog breed makes. They tend to be crucified for the smallest infractions. Like I said before, I had a little wiener dog whose behavior was atrocious, you know, and everybody accepted that. If she had been a pit bull, it would not have been accepted. And she might have ended up being euthanized for it, okay? So the reason that pit bulls need extra training is because they have no choice but to be perfectly behaved. They're not allowed, just because of the way they look, to make even the smallest mistakes in their behavior. Now, it is true that the bigger the dog, the more risk there is of serious injury to people or other dogs, regardless of the breed. Okay, a German Shepherd can hurt somebody too. Okay, a boxer, any other big dog. So the best dog training program I know is the Online Dog Trainer. Again, it's created by Doggy Dan. He is a professional dog trainer, also a behavioral specialist. I'm going to give you a link to his website in the description box. I'll also give you a link to my review of his website. And also, if you want to click into this video, I'll give you the link. You can watch this video of Doggy Dan working with an 18-month-old pit bull named Kay. And he has a muzzle on the dog, and he talks about this in this video about him socializing this pit bull with other dogs. And he gives a lot of insight as to just, you know, why dogs behave the way they do, why a dog might fight with another dog, all these sorts of things. He could just as easily have a German Shepherd on this leash. Do you understand? So I want you to click in there. I want you to hear what Doggy Dan says about this pit bull. Okay, so I'm going to give you the link to that. Now, the only way, the best way to keep your pit bull out of trouble is to make sure that he's trained well so that he doesn't misbehave. Now, on the dog training website, the Online Dog Trainer, he's got more than 300 videos that cover every dog behavior issue that you can possibly think of. He does also have an entire section on aggression. If your dog is, if you have a pit bull and they're showing any signs of aggression, again, just like any other dog might, you want to make sure that you get them that training again, so that they don't get into trouble, okay? He does have a 3-day trial at the website for $1, so I'm encouraging you, use the link that I'm giving you. Go in there. Do it on a weekend when you've got some time, because you're going to have 3 whole days to go into that website and watch as many dog training videos as you want to. Okay, so I just want to give that as a recommendation for dog training. Also, I'm going to ask you to share that one in red here, and in the description box, I'm going to give you a link to go to the $1 3-day trial for Doggy Dan's website. And again, if you have friends or family that have a pit bull, I want you to give them this, but explain to them so that you're not insulting them, that the reason that you're sharing it is because you realize how unfair it is that their dog has to behave perfectly just because he's a pit bull, and offer them this, okay? Because it's going to make a difference. And I hate to be dramatic, but it might literally save the dog's life, okay? If you can prevent that dog from ever misbehaving, from ever scaring people on the sidewalk or at the park or anything, and again, this is true of any big dog, it's going to keep them out of trouble, okay? Now, let's just continue on. Here's another picture of Luna. Here she is with her Christmas antlers. And I'm going to save this picture, and I'm going to go ahead and use that for my Christmas stuff that I do for pets at Christmas time. Again, I want to thank Kat so much for sending me these pictures, and I really appreciate it. So let's talk more about the best ways to help pit bulls. First of all, remember their history. Not long ago, pit bulls were the preferred nanny dog. They were often left in charge of young children. One of the most famous pit bulls was Petey, the dog in that show Little Rascals, which I think Luna looks a lot like Petey. There have been a number of famous pit bulls, and they're still one of the top 10 most popular dog breeds in the United States. Pit bulls ended up getting a bad rap when they became the guard dog of choice for drug dealers. Around the same time, dog fighting reemerged, and pit bulls were not the only dogs who've been marked as dangerous over the years. At various times, German Shepherds and Rottweilers were at risk of being outlawed. These facts alone are strong evidence that it's not the breed that's the problem. It's how they're treated and used or abused by humans. There's Luna again, going for a ride in the car. One of my favorite things about Luna is when I show up at my brother's house, they have a screen door, and Luna will be at the screen door. And she's enormous, she's huge, but she acts like a sweet baby. And as I pull in the driveway and I come up to the door, she's just at the door and she's wagging her tail and her whole body wags. And she's just, I can't say it enough, she's the sweetest girl. She really is. Now, the other ways that you can help pit bulls is to be a responsible owner. If you have a pit bull, make sure that you have trained the dog properly and that they get enough exercise. Provide them with boundaries, rules, and limitations, and make sure they're safely socialized with other dogs, people, and children. You can also work against breed-specific legislation. Many lawmakers are starting to take another look at breed-specific legislation and are now working on more sensible laws that focus on the behavior of the owners rather than focusing on the type of dog. If you don't know, breed-specific legislation is like where, certain breeds are not allowed, and pit bulls are always on that list, okay? Another thing you can do is educate. The best way to counteract fear is with education. Together we can keep pressing forward until one day pit bulls are once again seen as the beautiful, lovable best friends that they've always been. Stick with me another moment. I got a few more things for you. I'm going to give you a link in the description box for a free guide about the misconceptions of dog aggression. I think you're going to find that interesting. Also, I'm going to ask you to get the word out. Here's another book that I found that I just find absolutely adorable. It's called I'm a Good Dog, Pitbull's America's Most Beautiful and Most Misunderstood Pet. I love this book, and I'm going to give you a link to it. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and share that with people. You might even get a few copies to share with your local library. Sometimes libraries will take books that are given to them if they deem that it's, good enough for their library. They might just go ahead and put it in your local library. So I just wanted to recommend that as another thing we can do in support of pit bulls. Here's a list of some websites and articles that you can go to if you want to learn more about pit bulls and ways that you can support them. There's the American Pit Bull Foundation. SPCA has an official statement about pit bulls. Huffington Post has an article called 10 Stereotypes About Pit Bulls That Are Just Dead Wrong. Pit bull discrimination. Is it a pit bull problem or is it a people problem? Go ahead and visit these places. Share these links on your social media. Okay. I hope that if anything, just go to your social media, go to your Facebook page, go to your email, share these links. Okay. Share these links to these organizations so that we can spread the word and we can help pit bulls and get them to the point where, yeah, they got to behave. Yeah, they can't bite. Yeah, they can't attack anybody, but that's true of any dog. That's true of any dog. And hopefully with improved education, getting the word out, improved laws, pit bulls will have what I think should be their right is to be treated like any other dog breed. One more thing before we go. If you've not been here before, you don't know, I donate to animal charities. I do PeopleLovingAnimals.com as my job, and I donate 10% of all of the commissions that I earn on the website and also on this YouTube channel to animal charities. And if you would like to see a list of the animal charities that I donate to, you can go ahead and go to the homepage of my PeopleLovingAnimals.com website, and you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So again, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that was helpful. Again, if it was, please give it a like. Please share it. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. If you have any comments, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment box. If you have a beautiful pit bull who is just as loving and wonderful and sweet and kind as any other dog you've ever owned, please go ahead and give that dog a shout out in the comments below, okay? Let's use the comment section of this video to have conversation and to maybe even talk about more ideas of ways that we could help pit bulls. Again, I thank you so much for watching. My name is Deborah, and my website is PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.